That's all I want to read. Oh yeah. Driver airbag squib 2 is reading 7.3 ohms. The rest are 2.4 to 2.8. Six point six, 10, so that could be a number of things. Considering it changes when I change the steering wheel, we might be looking at a clock spring being broken. That's probably a fairly common thing. So I'll let you read. .9, 6.8, 2.4, 2.4. The 2.4s are within spec. That one 6.8, probably the clock spring. It changes between 10 and 5, depending on where the wheel is turned to. So it's probably not the squib, it's probably not the airbag itself, which is where the squib is located, I believe. There's a resistor in there. I'll have to look up clock spring, see if we can get one. There she is. Whoa! Are you kidding me? And it's the only one. $428. $428. All right, our first step is to disconnect the battery. We're going to take the negative lead off. Get this set. Here's the two squibs. One of these is failing. I am going to unplug them. And I'm going to need a...
Two squibs real quick. Your hands are in the way. Nice.
One, I'm not sure. Oh, this one has number 2. And this one has a number 1. So this one right here is our problem. There we go, unplugged. Put it on ohm scale.
Oh, all right.
Let's measure the actual airbag.
Here is the data. Well, with no battery in, are you going to get anything?
This is resistance.
Okay.
That's a dead short. 0.0 ohms.
Check the plug itself.
Well.
Ooh, don't drop it.
I'm going to check.
Oh, you're getting numbers there. You were for a second.
All right. No, that's good. That's showing. This is our horn, I think. It's showing that we've got good here. That these two are good. Our problem is this goes into the clock spring. To get to the clock spring, you have to remove the steering wheel itself. So, what I will do is I will plug this back in, and we're going to apply power to the car and see if by moving this or by moving the steering wheel clock spring, do we have a change? That'll help us narrow down. We're still on, we're still connected, and managed to find a couple paper clips that don't have rubber or plastic coating on them.
Show them what you do with the paper clip before you do it.
Just bending it into a jumper.
You gotta show them up close. It's small.
3.2. And it's holding at 3.2. Oh, 8.5. Nope.
So resistor won't work?
because it's still got to go through the clock spring. There is another connector for these on the other side in the steering wheel. We can also check that out. So I guess we're going to have to pop this steering wheel off, pull the clock spring out. Is the wheel straight?
Yes.
Dead straight?
Dead straight.
All right, we'll leave it there. Let's try a 13. First try.
First try.
Half inch. Bring out the big guns.
Ooh. Breaker bar.
Wow.
I mean, if it was me, I'd give it a couple Ugga Duggas.
Yeah.
That's just me.
This probably has some Loctite on it.
Oh, looks like it. Looks like it's a little greased up.
It's fighting me on the way out. Time to turn the car off.
Winter impact.
Yep, orange Loctite. Ah. That should fit into the two holes. And it's a slide hammer. Exactly what we need. It's about this time we'll return the camera off, do a little cussing and screaming, and come back when the steering wheel is off. Through the use of some imaginative tool, repurposing, I was able to get the steering wheel off. I use this as a slide hammer. Steering wheel is now off. And time to test our theories that it is the clock spring. Right now we're measuring 5.5 ohms. Let's turn the car back on. Key on, engine off. And it's reading 5.3 ohms with a jumper in. As I turn it, 677059. It's still going all over the place. I thought it might be this connector, which is the output of the squibs to the rest of the car, the stationary part. And it's holding stable at 4.9. But if I unplug it, it goes to full 10. So, 2.4. Three, 4, 7. It's the clock spring. So, it's a matter of now just having to buy a clock spring, which is an expensive proposition. So we're going to take a look on Mr. Computer, see where we can get the cheapest one. CKSPRING. And we'll go into shopping. And Fleabay has a lot of them.
Parsky, 153, first one.
Walmart, $75.
No way Walmart has it in stock.
Walmart has them. Free shipping.
It's funny if they have it in stock too.
Is that the right one? Sure looks like it. Parts Geek, I checked off Parts Geek here. And if we only look at Parts Geek, the price is about $150. So I think I'll order it from there rather than go to not Walmart. If I go to the AutoZone, and look it up, Clockspring. That's their price. $428. I'm not paying that. Especially when it's a Dorman.
No one should pay that.
I don't pay that much for Dorman parts, and especially I don't like their electronic parts. So, we're going to go with Clocks. We're going to go with Parts Geek, and we're going to have to wait for that part to come in. Unless we can give a Jeep shop a call. Sometimes they have cheaper parts.
We'll get that.
So I'm going to give the local Jeep dealer a call, see if I can get one. And I'll get back. After a call to the Jeep dealership, their clock spring costs $709. No. So I'm going to go with Parts Geek, and we're going to have to wait for it to come in. So we'll have to continue this part of the Jeep saga at a later date. Welcome back. It's been about a week, and we got a delivery from PartsGeek.com. It's a Crown quality replacement parts for Jeep vehicles. This should be a replacement clock spring. So let's see what we got, see if it matches, form, fit, and function. I'll just cut everything till it opens. Yes, I use carpet knives. Hopefully it arrived to us in one piece. Looks to be exactly what we need. Everybody see that? I hope so. So now I can take the screws out. I put the screws back in as placeholders so I know where they went, where they came from. I think what we should do first is remove the stalks, because they don't come with it. There we go. Remove the stalk. Remove the connector. Pop the tab. There's a little tab there. And another tab in the back. And the reason I plugged it back in is because the headlights would turn on and stay on. They did not see fit to give us a replacement connector or cable harness that goes across the top. So I'm going to have to use what was sent to us. Seeing as the problem was not in that area, should not be a big deal. I think I'm going to have to take this thing back out. One screw. Second screw. Now I'm not using a standard screwdriver, I'm using a Torx bit screwdriver, because that's what they saw fit to use when installing it. All right. There we go. And now she comes. All these connectors were disconnected the last time we had this open. This is the connector for the squibs. Should be one screw. There it is. That's a Phillips head. Take the screw out of there. That should give us, should be able to, yep, very easily take off the other stalk. There's the old part. And let's pray that the new stuff fits on. Yep, nice and tight to the screw hole. Of course, everything you see here is plastic. Tuck the wire in. The wire gets tucked into this little cavity here. And we'll connect up the connector. Goes here. A little bit of pressure, get those back together. Take the other Phillips head. Try not to drop the screw. Give it a little more light. Always helpful. Now, if you look at the shaft, you see that it does have a dimple in it. There's a dimple on there for center, and there's also a tooth missing there. So hopefully the steering wheel has the same tooth missing, and it's time to free the spring. All right. There's the clip that holds it in place. That's so it doesn't spin while it's in transit. Well, we've got ourselves all set and put back together. Let's take her out for a rip. Going to monitor those speed sensors. Not going to go far because I'm not liking that wheel at all. Let's turn on some AC. It is summer now. It's getting hot. Everything looks good. It's tracking. Automatic locks just lock themselves. Looks good. We're not getting any airbag lights. I'm going to call that a fix. I'm hoping you can see the graphs up there. Woohoo. I've got no lights on the dash. And that's a beautiful thing. We're back with the Jeep Patriot 2011 with 180,000 miles on it. Recently, I replaced the clock spring in it because it had bad connections to the squib. Those connections were broken inside this ribbon cable, which all in total is about 5 to 6 feet long. Where the break is, I don't know, and they're made out of the thinnest copper foil I have ever seen. I decided not to try to repair it. I won't be able to find out where it happened. Thought I knew. I was wrong. But when I got the new clock spring put in, I told myself that I would tear apart the old clock spring to see what makes it tick. Well, let's take a look at what makes it tick. I was surprised. There's a lot of circuitry in here, and it's almost reasonable to understand why they asked so much for the part. Jeep wanted $709. AutoZone wanted $450. I went to Parts Geek and managed to get it for $150, plus tax, plus shipping. But take a look inside. I pulled the covers off it after I ripped the ribbon cable out, and here's what I found. Can you imagine? I don't know if this thing's focusing properly. We've got two chips. We've got a wheel here that turns when you turn the steering wheel. I'm assuming this is your steering angle sensor. There are either Hall effect sensors or optical sensors that tell it where that steering wheel is at every part of its journey. Here is another sensor that, like in your mouse, measures motion. And I believe that to be your yaw rate sensor, so that when you turn the wheel, it can tell which way the car is turning. Many components, power supply here, power filtering, probably takes 12 volts in here and runs it to 5 here, and then supplies these 2 chips. Are there more? Most likely. I haven't taken it fully apart yet. At this point, I'm not quite sure if I need to. But I thought it was amazing just to see what's inside of a Clockspring movement. Hope you enjoyed this. Shoot me a like if you like it. And shoot me a comment if you do or don't. Have a good night.